All right, that was Cody Canada, Departed with In-Betweener. You're listening to Mornings with Lone Star here on irlonestar.com. Soon to be also on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1 in June. Hope you guys are enjoying your morning right now. It's 9:05. Hanging out in the studio, we got a huge lineup talk show-wise. Coming up around 10 o'clock, Sydney Cochran is back. She has been ill for a week and a half. It's, you know, you kind of miss people. You're gone for a week off the air. She's been gone forever in my mind, so we're happy she's back at 10 o'clock, so stick around for that. But right now, I have some special guests. We have a local, I guess he was in one of our theater radio plays a long time ago. I say about 2 years ago. We have the theater arts director from John Cooper School. Is that the correct?
Director of the Performing Arts.
Director? Yeah. Oh, you're the big kahuna.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Was. Yes.
Or
yes,
May.
Indeed.
May,
yeah,
you're leaving.
Right,
we have Joe Demonico in the studio.
Thank
you. We have one of his friends, and it's just actually kind of a neat opportunity to talk to Joe, because last time Joe was in the studio, well, not being on the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour, was October 20th. You can go on our podcast right now on SoundCloud. Look it up on Mornings with Lone Star. We had him in talking about independent filmmaking with his counterpart in here. It's Phil Aslaken. Is that right?
Aslaken.
Yeah, I forgive me.
No worries.
And you can actually check these folks out on IMDb and also on other places of the internet. We're going to get to the other plugs, like where to go, because we're talking about a movie I've been working on, or Phil has been working on. And welcome to the studio, Phil.
Thank
and
you.
Joe's a producer for this film, and Phil is the writer and co-producer, correct?
Phil's the lead producer.
Producer.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on IMDb. It says. Oh, yeah, you're right. I read that. Co-producer. Wrong way. I'm sorry.
You just got a field promotion, just like that.
I'm all excited. I'm like,
Hollywood.
Okay, Phil. Hey, man, he said it. It's
it's
going
to be a long drive home back to the Woodlands.
That's funny. So, last time you were in the studio talking about this movie, and now it's actually to the point where a cast has been made, and now what's currently happening today with it?
Well, what we have today is we have Marcus Innocenti as our director, and he's won a couple of MTV awards. He has 118 credits on the IMDb, so he's been around a while. We managed to get Bo Hopkins signed. He's an Emmy winner. He's known for like Midnight Express, American Graffiti, Wild Bunch, and then we have Morgan Fairchild from Dallas Girl. She's attached. She's also an Emmy nominated and Globe nominated actress, pretty well known. We also have David Novak. He's done a lot of stuff over the years. Great guy. So we're excited about those things.
Well, first I want to say you can find about this movie online. It's called Evelyn Rising. It's spelled Evelyn Rising. It's on IMDb. Look it up. You can see all the information, especially how to spell Phil's last name, and understand why I mispronounced it. I'm sorry. Even though he told me right before we go on, this is how you say my last name. But no, this is really interesting. And now you're to the point where cameras are being moved around, basically. Are we getting ready to shoot?
We're not there quite yet. We still have a little bit in the way of investment opportunity in this one.
Yeah, there's the means in which independent films are being made today is different than the studio route. What we're able to do, though, with this one, we're looking for private placement investors locally. We're trying to build a base of interest in independent filmmaking here in specifically Conroe, Woodlands, Huntsville area, because there's so much ability and talent here. So we're still waiting for, we have investors in. We have a budget yet to be rounded out, but we're looking for people willing to participate in that. We're in the sweet spot of independent filmmaking. The sweet spot in budget is basically $500,000 to $1.5 million. That is a ideal budget because it's the best rate of return on investment in film, period. And we sit right well within that sweet spot. So there's still opportunity to participate in that and look for that. But we're much closer than we were with cast and with the music, scoring, etc.
Yeah, that helps. All that stuff helps because this is the hardest thing about independent film. And most folks out there that are doing it could understand. Just getting all the stuff, audio and trying to compete with bigger studios and there's just it's tough, but it can be done. I mean, we got real lucky. We got a group called Edge of Paradise, and they're a rock and roll outfit from Los Angeles, headed by Margarita Monet. And they'll be doing a song called Ghost, one of their big ones in the opening credits. Plus, the music will be scored by Margarita. So she's very talented, and we're excited about that.
She's a Houston girl, well, raised in Houston, so yeah. So she's.
Well, do you think that kind of thing comes into an important role when making a film? As you said, like Morgan Fairchild's from Dallas, and getting people like those folks who are local. Like, do you think that's what gets them attached to the movie faster, or is it more of?
Well, we are shooting in parts of Conroe and Huntsville.
Well, I know that. I remember y'all looking for a diner.
Yes.
So I hope y'all found a diner.
We did.
Oh, wait, which one? Waffle House?
Nothing scattered and smothered. Although we love Waffle House. Let me make this perfectly clear. I'm not trying to say that was, but this is a little different. Cafe Texas, in Huntsville.
The chicken and eggs there are fantastic.
It's
Okay.
yeah.
Well, yeah, it's funny. I was like, the only place here in Conroe really is the 105 Cafe or the Waffle House.
Yeah.
But in Huntsville, I imagine there's a lot more authentic looking diners.
Well, we got lucky. We have access to, or we've scouted the oldest diner in the state of Texas is there, so it's got the counter we're looking for, and it's got that small town vibe. So a piece of Americana that's disappearing rapidly. So this film will capture some of that, and we're hoping to do that.
And the more you can keep it low. The reason why we look for local private placement is because we want people who love the community, invest in the community, and want to be a part of building the economy and everything in the community. It'd be one thing to bring money in from, a studio in Los Angeles, bring a bunch of investors in from elsewhere. We'd like more people to be personally invested. It's a heart situation. You invest your heart, you invest your passion locally into it. So that's why we're looking at Huntsville and Conroe. It's great shooting locations, but the opportunity for people locally to sort of diversify their portfolio, things that, there's a lot of investments that abound in the Houston area in a lot of ways. But this is a way in which to do it where you can get a really good rate of return and then invest locally in the local economy. So
with the production.
It's outside of the box perhaps, but it really is a great way to keep it here and get a good rate of return.
Well, plus you could buy a chunk of land, and that's good. You'll make some money on it. But film is forever. It's a legacy that your name's on it. And if you're proud of it and what it is and it has a positive message, I think that's probably another incentive.
Well, I think a lot of people don't realize how many people are private investors in the film industry now, and especially with the ability to put it on a digital format where you can move the film a lot further and get in front of a lot more people than the old standard way of traditional film, especially with movie theaters and the mafia kind of role they play in the film industry. That was one of the neatest things I know me is being interested in film and how that all worked. The good old boy system with the theaters and things like that, and especially you kind of understand why certain movies don't do well is because somebody along the communication line didn't like that one person, and they broke down that line of communication. Oh, you're only going to be in 400 theaters instead of 1,500, and that severely hurts.
Well, the big studios, it'd be nice if they extended the hand more towards independent filmmakers because we kind of work outside the creative restraints.
I think they did, though. I would say the Image did.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they started making little, they had Fox Searchlight pictures and all that kind of stuff. But then I think the big guys didn't understand how to make money from it. Or it wasn't enough money, in a sense. They might have made a profit of $4 million, but that wasn't, they're used to $1 billion now with the Marvel comic people. I mean, that's just saturating the market. So with you now, more private investors give you more flexibility, and you can put it on different and get in front of different people instead of just dealing with one investor, I imagine.
Absolutely. I mean, there's certain ways films make their money back, and like you just mentioned, theatrical releases. That's usually controlled a lot more by the big dogs.
But there's now it's a different world with DVD sales. There's the market's wider. Not everybody's going to sit down in a theater these days anyway. The other thing is the video on demand market, cable market is wonderful. I mean, people are downloading content on their phones, iPads, computers. It's accessible. It's downloadable. You can pause it.
That's the only way I consume content now. See? And that's I have this weird thing. I was talking to my girlfriend the other day about it. Was basically when X-Files goes off of Netflix, I'm probably dropping Netflix. And she's like, why on earth? And I was like, I don't know. I think it's I used to watch X-Files, and that's the only reason I watch it is on demand whenever I want to watch it. But we're going to take a quick break. We're talking to Joe and Phil about Evelyn Rising, and it's on IMDb right now, and they're going to be filming in this neck of the woods. And we're going to talk more. I want to talk more about that. One thing I want to talk about, too, if you don't mind, because I know you're all in the fundraising phase, basically. I want to talk about the crowdfunding idea, and then I also want to talk about the private investment more, because there's been a couple, when I was in college, I kind of tagged along with some producers trying to raise money, and I always thought it was the craziest thing, because, they give you this huge book about finances and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, all you need is that one rich guy who says, "Oh, can I be in the movie?" And you just let him in the movie. No,
well, it's Barnes and Noble. You just go down and filmmaking fundraising for dummies. I mean, that's usually that works pretty good.
Well, no, I went more of just to give you a backstory on this one. He wanted some help, and I go, well, let me see the budget, because I'm always interested in how would people expect to pay a grip or location or gas, and like how detailed do these people get. And I know last time we were here we talked about Michael Bay. And Michael Bay being so detailed. And there's actually a recent article in Empire Magazine about him working with ILM Studios and how much everyone hates him because he's so mean about everything. But we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a music break here on Mornings of the Lone Star. Again, Evelyn Rising on IMDb. It's EVELYN Rising. Check it out, and like I said, they're going to be filming in this area, in Huntsville and the Woodlands and Conroe, so it's going to be a local production. It's going to be really cool, and we'll be back right after these messages and a couple songs. Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station, and we're looking for more talk shows and volunteer DJs for our music shows. With the addition of Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and the video aspects of our talk shows and music shows, we need more people to grow with us. If you're interested in having your own talk show on Lone Star, or always wanted to live out your dream of being a music DJ, contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com/contact us, or call the station at 936-647-5747 for more information. All right, that's Bill Anderson. When You Love Me, 9:26 here on Mornings with Lone Star, irlonestar.com, and soon to be also on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. Still hanging out with Joe and Phil talking about Evelyn Rising. Go to IMDb. We're going to be posting all this stuff on the podcast version of this interview this morning. But if you're into film, this is a great conversation to join in on. We're on Facebook, Mornings Lone Star, also with the future of you want to be an extra, because I know some people who just want to be extras. That's like what they do with their off time, and they want to be in the background, and they'll always wear a certain kind of watch or something that they can get picked out easily in the scenes and things like that. I thought it was pretty interesting. But they're going to be filming here. Do we have a date for film? You say like 2 years, a year from now, or
well,
what do you think? Or tomorrow?
We're actually shooting, if all goes well, in late August. We'd like to.
Oh, perfect.
We'd like to be there and have cameras rolling. So that's our goal right now, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, if all goes well, we can actually put the stuff together, and that's what Phil's in town for right now. He's been here for a week. He'll be here for another week, so we can again have the meetings and put all the financing and whatnot together, so that August is the best possible. We'd like. We'll see, but that's our target.
And this is a union film. It'll be a SAG film, but there's actually 30 speaking roles in the film, and there's non-speaking roles as well, like background and extras, so folks can, we'll be putting out the calls and all that when it's time. But the rest, we're bringing like 3 or 4 major actors from LA, and the rest are going to be local hires. So that's what we're all about, and giving folks a chance to be in a real movie and actually say lines opposite of the likes of Bo Hopkins and Morgan Fairchild. So it's a nice experience.
But it's a good team. I mean, considering it, like you mentioned before, Marcus, Chente's director, and Bo and Morgan Fairchild. And as Phil goes, just as a little heads up so everybody knows, Phil has been in this business for 20 plus years. I mean, I'm saying that like I don't know, but I know he's been at it a long time, and list of credits as long as his arms, as not only as a stunt coordinator and fight coordinator, but as a director and producer and writer. He's just, you check out his IMDb page, he's got the most. And then, and with myself having a background in film and TV, as well as producing in films, we have a very good team put together. So to let people know that this is a very fleshed out, very well put together package machine team that we have together. And so the fact that we're doing this here and we're doing it within this sweet spot budget is just all says how very successful this thing can really be. So,
and it's to promote the films of Texas too. Right now, there's a 5% tax incentive for anything below $1 million, and it goes up to $3.5 million. They offer 10% at this time. So most like Louisiana, Michigan, and states, Oklahoma even, offer much higher tax incentives. So we're hoping that people will look at that, the Texas Film Commission, and maybe raise it a little bit and get some more people looking at the state of Texas to film in.
But despite that, we want to stay here. It could be easy to go to another state like that and say, oh, because incentives are better, we can go. But the idea is to really build a community here in Texas. I mean, we really believe in the independent film business here, and obviously Austin and Dallas places, they work a lot there too. But there needs to be more here, and honestly, that's a large part of what we're doing when bringing it here to Huntsville and shooting a small Texas town. But it really is a small Texas town. And that's why it's so attractive, because it's real. It's the real thing. Not shooting in Los Angeles and pretending to be Texas.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people can point this out pretty fast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, we've been talking about the production of the movie. I know we talked about the plot last time. Is it changed at all? Is it the same?
No, the elevator pitch basically is a waitress in a small Texas town is becoming an angel. With a God-given mission to decide whether humanity is still worth saving or not. And we got aliens in this thing and everything else, so it's kind of like a sci-fi thriller with spiritual overtones.
So a lot of CGI?
Lots of CGI, yes.
Not as much as you might think.
I think a lot of people don't realize if it is now these days. Well, I mean, except for like movies like Warcraft, which is coming out, I'm pretty sure that's like all CGI.
I think that
even the armor, even like everyone's just wearing a blue tight shirt.
I think you can count on that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be doing practical effects as much as possible, but because you don't want to have the cheese whiz factor on special effects. If you're trying to do a movie and compete with the big studios, it's just
Well, especially the tone.
Yeah.
I imagine this tone isn't a B movie tone. It's more of like, hey, we want to take this as a serious look at this kind of ethics of mankind. Should it be allowed or shouldn't it be allowed?
Absolutely.
Instead of having, I don't know how to put it, like toilet paper rolls everywhere. And,
rubber chickens.
Yeah, right.
No, it's a very serious, very legitimate motion picture, and it's relationships. It's people in relationships. The relationship of Evelyn to everybody else. So you're going to be dealing with a lot of acting, a lot of moments in acting in a diner. We're not going to be floating on Mars, and doing the scenes. This will be real on the ground, real in the earth type stuff. Cemetery scenes in the country. You're gonna, and in August in Texas, you're gonna feel the
love.
heat and the texture. Let's just say of Texas.
There won't be somebody with a mister spraying sweat on someone's face. So, but we'll be using stuff like 4K drones, and which is good that it's taken a little longer to get this thing going because that technology is now available. Which production value is ridiculous when you got a high angle shot, 360 around somebody in a big open field. It just gives that texture that we're looking for. We want to, in this film, we're trying to capture. My director is like, I'm going to make sure that you can smell the dirt in this thing. Mm-hmm. I want this thing organic. I really want just real people. We're not going to have a bunch of supermodels dirtied up a little bit and looking like townsfolk. I want like real folks involved in this thing so everyone can relate to that.
This is kind of exciting. I mean, so August, folks, keep it on your calendar. And when y'all make the announcement of needing help and things, where can people go? I know you guys have a Facebook, so maybe we should tell people about Facebook. Is that a good place? Or
Facebook is good. We're both on Facebook. We're going through there'll be casting calls on the SAG website.
Okay.
So they could go there. That's probably a good resource for that.
The Houston, Austin SAG office will put out those announcements for casting. When it comes to looking for crew and whatnot, those will go through also through local channels when we're looking for crew. But when the time comes to actually roll camera and we pull the trigger on that and we're good to go, we'd love to be able to, come and tell you about that and get the word out as well with you if possible. But we got a good target and we have everything in place. It's a ready-made project. What's different about this one than others is that this film is, all the pieces are in place. It even can go to market. There's a distributor ready to put it on a shelf if that's the way we're going to, or to right to the market to sell. We don't have to take this thing, make it, go shop it at a film festival and hope to get a distributor. It's all ready to go. Cast, crew, you name it. We can fill those things that need to be filled. We already have the major players in place. All we're looking for now is just how to fill the remaining gap of funding. And hopefully people locally will find that there's a great way to put involved in the community, put together some lasting something for themselves in the way of a legacy, and round out the funding. And then it goes. It starts and it just doesn't stop until it's ready to, until editing is done, it goes to the shelf. So it's a
cool.
It's a unique and one of a kind one-stop shop for this one, I got to tell you.
It's Evelyn Rising. And folks, it's spelled. I just pulled it up, and now I'm looking at Phil's IMDb. You're all over IMDb, and it's Evelyn Rising. It's on IMDb. Look it up. Also, they have a Facebook, and if you're a SAG person, you know the Houston, like you said, Houston Austin office will be posting stuff about it if you want to be involved. If you want to do how about like volunteers, like PAs? You don't have to be a SAG person and be a PA, right?
We're not required to have union crew. So yeah, we'll be looking to hire all local crew. And when my director Marcus gets out here, he'll be looking at all the folks with and providing opportunities for people that need that the credit and to work on a real set.
Oh, well, if you need a place to do voiceovers, just give me a call.
Absolutely.
And we'll do whatever we can to help you guys. I'm excited about this.
I tell you what, you got a great voice for radio, man.
Well, I'm actually really sick right now, so I sound even a little bit more Barry White. Yeah, no.
You wear it well, man. You couldn't tell for a minute.
But I appreciate you guys coming in. I'm looking forward for updates. Like I said, August, folks, keep an eye out. I'll be posting all these links and things like that on the podcast version on SoundCloud and, of course, YouTube. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. The Cindy Cochran Show's coming up soon at 10 o'clock, so stick around with that. Then we have a news show today. East Montgomery County News with Margie Taylor is going to be in the studio at noon, and right before her will be the weekly business hour. So stick around here on irlonestar.com, and soon also to be on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. Thanks for checking out this production of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. For more information on this show and other shows on Lone Star Community Radio, check us out online at irlonestar.com. If you're interested in sponsoring a program on Lone Star Community Radio and reaching the local audience of Montgomery County on FM, internet, TV, media, please call 936-647-5747 or contact us online at irlonestar.com. This recording is a Lone Star Community Radio production produced by the show host and Dick Schissler of Lone Star Community Radio. Interested in volunteering as a music DJ or starting your own talk show? Contact Dick Schissler at dick@irlonestar.com or by phone at 936-647-5747.